The first trade in the week leading up to the NBA trade deadline is potentially one of the most lopsided and one sided trades in recent NBA history. The trade reads as followed. The Los Angeles Clippers have traded Eric Bledsoe, Justin Winslow, Keon Johnson, and a future second round pick for Norman Powell and Robert Covington. Now, I know I have been a big advocator of Portland making some moves, trying to retool, move some pieces, and build around Dame in a better way. But if this is what the return was, yikes. I I find it hard to believe that this is the best return Portland could have got for Norm Powell and Robert Covington in combination. This is an absurdly poor return. Eric Bledsoe is going to be a bench guard for you, behind Dame, behind CJ, assuming they don't get traded, while you still have Anthony Simons. So he's not even your backup point guard. He's your backup shooting guard. And again, still just isn't a great contract. He's okay, but he's not that great of a valuable asset. Justice Winslow has played a little bit more this year, but ultimately isn't a great player. Can be a bit of a backup wing for you, especially when Nazir Little is out this year. But again, it's not a great asset. And then Keon Johnson, he's still young. He was just picked in this last year's draft. Sure, he could potentially have some upside, but unless Portland sees some future really good starter quality out of Keon Johnson, there's nothing here. You traded away Gary Trent Jr. pretty much exactly as a year ago to get Norman Powell. You have now traded him away alongside Robert Covington to get Eric Bledsoe, and then hopefully something in Keon Johnson, and a little bit of something, but not really in Justice Winslow, which, to be fair, is unfortunate he got traded because he was enjoying LA, according to some recent interviews. So hopefully he can find himself a place in Portland. But it's very confusing for Portland. I like the fact that they're making moves. I wanted them to get rid of some guys, to retool and try and hit the reset button. Ideally, to get rid of Dame and fully hit the reset button, but that probably wasn't going to happen. So at least to make some changes and try and change the roster. But this type of move, that's only sending you downwards. This isn't retooling. This is just weakening your roster. You have now essentially traded Gary Trent Jr., who has been absurdly good this year for Toronto, for Eric Bledsoe, and hopefully something in Keon Johnson. Not ideal. From the LA Clippers standpoint, dare I say next year they're going to be one of the top contenders in the NBA? I know we did this when Paul George and Kawhi Leonard first got there, but they now have a starting lineup of Reggie Jackson, Norman Powell, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Ivan Zubac. They are going to have a very solid bench as well. Terrence Mann, Coffey, Brandon Boston. You're now going to have Robert Covington off of that bench. Isaiah Hartenstein, assuming he comes back. This is a very good team. They're going to have good depth with some young guys that have gotten more playing time this year due to injuries. You're going to have Norman Powell now alongside Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, which is just going to be great spacing. Another good scorer. You could have 3 legitimate 20-point per game guys on this team, with 2 of those guys being your all-stars in Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. This is a good team, man. This is a good team. They're going to be a solid defensive team. They're going to be a really good offensive team. I think they have a potential to be a top 5 two-way team in the NBA. And we're not going to know if they are truly the favorites until we see all the moves that happen at the deadline and in the offseason for what we're looking forward to next year. But Norman Powell and Robert Covington coming in helps them this year from a standpoint of hopefully getting into the playing games. But more so and importantly so in the long term, Norman Powell and Robert Covington on this group, guys that have won throughout their careers. One was just traded away uh, after getting the title. Robert Covington has a lot of deep playoff runs. This is going to be an absurdly good move for the Clippers. This, in my opinion, is a move that is going to put Clippers amongst the top tier contenders in the NBA heading into next season. This year, whatever. It is what it is. But having those two guys, man, this Clippers group's going to be good, man. That is a good team on both sides of the ball. Heck of a trade for them. I like that Portland are moving in this direction. but I find it hard to believe that that is the best return they could have got. But what do I know? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.